Hey guys, what's up? Jeff here again to orient your fitness in the right direction, and today I wanted to talk about this guy named AlphaDestiny, who seems to be getting more and more popular now. I became aware of him around the same time I became aware of a guy named Jason Blaha. In fact, the last major video I did really, probably you could say criticizing someone, was on Jason Blaha. I actually linked that video in the description below. I think it was a pretty good video. But anyways, today I wanted to talk about shoulder shrugs and developing big traps, essentially, because this guy AlphaDestiny has a lot of videos on developing big traps, and although his advice is pretty good, he leaves out some pretty important, I would say even critical information, and I thought I'd actually not so much criticize him but add to what he's saying. And so I wanted to talk about what's really going on when you're doing shoulder shrugs, when you're coming up like that. Of course, you're using your upper traps, right? Because the major action of your upper traps is to elevate your shoulder blades and bring them up. So when you do that, you're using your upper traps. But what's another major muscle that's also being worked when you do this action right here? Another major muscle is your Levator Scapulae, and what it does is essentially, right in its name, it elevates your shoulder blades. That's a major action of it. So, okay, so you're working out your Levator Scapulae as well. But why is that relevant? Well, what's another major action of your Levator Scapulae? It also does downward rotation of your shoulder blades, so it rotates them down like that. Why is that important? Well, when you raise your arm up, so when you do this right here, you raise your arm up like that, say over your head. Why is having really strong Levator Scapulae is going to be relevant there? Well, when you raise your arm up, your shoulder blade right here is supposed to upwardly rotate, so your shoulder blade is supposed to rotate up like that when you raise your arm up like that. But when your downward rotators, like your Levator Scapulae, is so strong, you could get more downward rotation, and you're not going to get adequate enough upward rotation now. So what could happen then? Well, when your Levator Scapulae is really strong and you're not getting proper upward rotation, what could happen is this space right here, it's not maintained, and that space is your subacromial space. And in there, you have structures like your subacromial bursa, you have your long cut of the biceps running through there, and you have your supraspinatus muscle, which is one of your four rotator cuff muscles running through there as well. So what could happen is, if the space isn't being maintained, those structures can now get impinged upon or jammed as you raise your arms up. So now you could get shoulder impingement, you could get rotator cuff inflammation, biceps inflammation, a rotator cuff tear, eventually all issues that you don't want. So what should you really be doing to avoid this? You should really be doing things like, well, you could stretch your Levator Scapulae. So of course you could do the opposite actions of what it does. So say I'm stretching this Levator Scapulae on this side of my neck. You want to depress your shoulder down, so depress it down like that. So if you're sitting down, you could grab the bottom of your chair. If you're standing, just hold your arm down. Now rotate your head to the opposite side. Side bend it to the opposite side. Rotate it to the opposite side. Take your free hand, and none of this should hurt you. If it does, don't do it. Once you're in this position, take your hand and gently bring your head down like that. You should feel a stretch right here. Hold that stretch for 30 seconds, do it twice on each side. That's going to stretch your Levator Scapulae. And while we're at it, we should also stretch our upper traps, since very tight upper traps can lead to neck pain, shoulder pain, headaches, all that. So once again, opposite actions of what the muscle does. So once again, I'm depressing my shoulder blade down here. Side bend head to the opposite side, rotate it to the same side, take your free hand, bring your head down like that. Now you're going to stretch your upper traps, hold that stretch for 30 seconds, and do it twice on each side. And so, what is another big thing you can do? Well, you also want to really strengthen your upward rotators. What is a major muscle that does scapular upward rotation? A major muscle that does that is your serratus anterior, which isn't really often hit in the gym. Because when you bench press, let's say, sure, you're bringing the bar down and up like that, but you're not really hitting your serratus, because another major action of your serratus is shoulder protraction, which is bringing your shoulder forward like that. So it's doing this right here, bringing your shoulder forward like that. So it does that, and so we can adequately target that by doing an exercise called shoulder serratus punches. So you lay on your back, you have the dumbbell, like say 15 pounds, but I go up to 30 pounds. Because it's more challenging. So you have your shoulder down on the ground, then you bring it forward up off the ground. So starting down, then you bring it up off the ground. Those are serratus punches. That's going to help to utilize your serratus. You could also do exercises like the push-up plus. That's another good push-up exercise you can do. So that's gonna help to give you more scapular upward rotation so you have more muscle balance in your body. And speaking of muscle balance, I didn't really see him mentioning the lower traps, which do scapular depression. So of course you want balance in your body. Why would you just work out the upper traps, which do shoulder scapular elevation, and not work out the muscle that does scapular depression? It makes sense to have that balance, right? So to work out your lower traps, which do scapular retraction and depression, you can do exercises like go to the lat pull down machine, hold it, bring it all the way down to your chest, and hold that. When you do that, your shoulder blades are retracting and depressing. So you can do that for 3 sets of 30-second holds. And you can also do an exercise called the Y exercise, where you lay face down on a bench, have 2 light pound dumbbells. This is going to be a hard exercise, even with very light weight, and you come up into a Y position. When you do that, your shoulder blades are retracting and depressing. So do that, say 3 sets for 15 repetitions. And by doing that, you're going to be strengthening your lower traps, and I already covered strengthening your serratus, which is upward rotation. I covered stretching your levator, stretching your upper traps, and all of that's going to help to maintain proper shoulder health, because what's the point of developing very big traps when you're setting yourself up for a potential shoulder injury? It doesn't really make sense. So hopefully in this video I taught you guys something new. I think I did. So if you liked the video, thumb it up, comment, subscribe to my channel. This has been Jeff once more, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later soon.